The rain hit the windshield so hard it sounded like gravel being dumped from the sky. Staff Sergeant Mason Cole tightened his grip on the steering wheel as the headlights cut through the fog rolling across the Nevada desert. Midnight shifts already sucked? Midnight shifts during a thunderstorm out in the middle of nowhere? Whole different level of miserable. Area Echo 7 sat 40 miles outside of Vegas, buried in government land where maps got weird and locals pretended not to notice the extra fences. Officially, it was an Air Force intelligence site. Unofficially, everybody stationed there had their own theories. Some guys said underground bunkers. Some said experimental weapons. A few swore people disappeared there. Mason didn't buy into ghost stories. He'd done 2 deployments overseas and seen enough real horrors to know most hauntings were drunk dudes and bad wiring. Still, Echo 7 felt wrong at night. The compound stretched across acres of concrete and steel, wrapped in layers of razor wire and motion sensors. Floodlights lit the perimeter like a prison yard. Armed patrols moved constantly. Cameras watched every hallway, stairwell, storage room, and access point. You didn't accidentally wander into Echo 7. Hell, even getting into the bathroom required a key card and a code. During daytime hours, the place buzzed nonstop. Contractors, analysts, MPs, technicians, officers yelling into phones, forklifts moving equipment. But once midnight rolled around, dead quiet. Like the building itself was asleep. Mason parked beside the security checkpoint and flashed his badge to the gate guard. "Storm's killing the cams tonight," the guard muttered. "Good thing I'm ugly," Mason joked. The guard didn't laugh. That should have been the first warning. Inside ops control, the room glowed blue from dozens of monitors mounted across the walls. Camera feeds rotated every few seconds. Hallways, garages, server rooms, stairwells, exterior fences. 3 people were on shift tonight. Mason, his supervisor, Sergeant Donovan Briggs, and a civilian systems tech named Leah Mercer. Briggs sat kicked back with coffee in hand while Leah typed away at her station. "Storm's screwing with motion sensors again," Leah said without looking up. "Tell the ghosts to chill out," Mason replied. Leah smirked. Briggs didn't. "You joke," Briggs muttered, staring at one of the screens. Mason dropped into his chair. "What?" Briggs hesitated, then shrugged. "Nothing." That was weird too. Briggs was ex-Army Ranger. Dude laughed at everything, the kind of guy who'd make jokes during a missile drill. But tonight he looked tense. Outside, thunder shook the building. The monitors flickered for half a second, then stabilized. Mason rubbed his eyes. "Long night already. Gets longer," Leah said quietly. Before Mason could ask what she meant, the desk phone rang. Briggs answered, listened. His expression hardened immediately. "Copy that." He hung up and looked at Mason. "Motion alert in sub-level 3 equipment storage." Mason groaned. "Seriously? You're closest." "Of course I am." Briggs slid a flashlight across the desk. "Go clear it." Mason clipped the flashlight to his belt and headed for the elevator. As the doors shut, Leah called after him. "Hey!" Mason looked back. "If you see somebody down there." She stopped. "Never mind." The elevator doors closed. Sub-level 3 sat deep beneath the facility. No windows, no outside noise, just concrete hallways and humming ventilation systems. The elevator opened with a ding that sounded way too cheerful for a place like this. Mason stepped out. Instantly, the silence hit him. Not normal silence, heavy silence, the kind that presses against your ears. The hallway lights buzzed overhead. The beam from his flashlight bounced across gray walls and sealed blast doors. He walked toward equipment storage 12B where the alarm originated. His boots echoed loudly. Too loudly. Halfway there, he stopped. He could have sworn he heard another set of footsteps behind him. He turned. Empty hallway. "Storm's got me paranoid," he muttered. He reached the equipment room and scanned his badge. Massive steel locks clanked open. The door slowly groaned inward. Darkness. Mason swept the flashlight across rows of equipment crates, tool lockers, and server racks. Nothing moved. No sound except electrical humming. He stepped inside. "Control, this is Cole," he said into his radio. "Room looks clear," Static answered. Then Briggs' voice crackled through. "Check the back corner. Motion sensor still active." Mason sighed and walked deeper into the room. The flashlight beam shook slightly in his hand now. Not fear, he told himself. Just adrenaline. He reached the back wall. Nothing there. No movement, Mason said. Then the phone on the wall rang. Mason nearly jumped out of his skin. Jesus Christ! He grabbed the receiver. Cole! The voice from checkpoint security came through shaky. Mason. Yeah? There was a pause. Then, we got 2 people in the room. Mason froze. What? Camera feed shows 2 heat signatures. Mason slowly turned around. The room looked empty. Real funny, he said. Nobody's joking. The guard sounded dead serious now. Mason forced himself to stay calm. Where's the second person? Another pause. Then, standing behind you. Every muscle in Mason's body locked up. Cold flooded through his chest. He turned slowly. Nothing. Just darkness between storage racks. You see him now? Mason whispered. Yeah. The guard's voice cracked. He's still there. Mason's heartbeat slammed in his ears. Describe him. He's tall, maybe 6'2". Military uniform. What kind? Old school desert camo. Mason frowned. Nobody wore that anymore. Then the guard whispered, we can't see his face. Lightning flashed outside somewhere far above ground. For one split second, the room lights dimmed, and Mason heard breathing behind him. Not his own. Slow, wet, right next to his ear. He spun violently. Nothing there. But the flashlight beam caught movement between the shelves. A shadow slipping away. Mason bolted for the exit. The steel door slammed behind him as he stumbled into the hallway, breathing hard. Hallway lights suddenly shut off. Pitch black. Then every emergency light snapped on red. A facility-wide alarm began screaming underground. Mason started running. Something ran behind him. Heavy footsteps. Fast. Way too fast. He risked a glance backward. At first, he saw nothing. Then, a figure standing at the far end of the hallway. Tall. Broad shoulders. Military uniform soaked black. Its face blurred like a broken TV signal. Not hidden, not shadowed. Blurred. The thing tilted its head, then sprinted toward him. Mason hit the elevator button repeatedly. The footsteps thundered closer. 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 The elevator doors opened. Mason threw himself inside and smashed the close button. Just before the doors sealed, he saw it reach the hallway light. Its body jerked unnaturally as it moved, like its limbs bent wrong, its face still impossible to focus on, and its eyes, pure white. The doors slammed shut. Something hit the elevator hard enough to shake it. Then silence. When Mason got back to ops control, chaos had erupted. Security forces filled the room with rifles drawn. Leah looked pale as death. Briggs grabbed Mason immediately. What the hell did you see? Before Mason could answer, every monitor in the room flickered. Then dozens of motion alerts exploded across the screen simultaneously. Hallways, storage rooms, vehicle bays, restricted labs, all over the damn facility. One after another. Beep, 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 beep. The security chief stared at the monitors. That's impossible. The sensors weren't networked. Each one was independently wired. System-wide glitches couldn't happen, yet alerts kept spreading, like something was moving through the building. Fast, very fast. A camera feed switched automatically to Hangar 4. Everyone in ops froze. There was somebody standing inside the hangar. Tall, motionless, facing the camera. The image quality was crystal clear. You could read serial numbers on crates 50 feet away. But the figure's face looked distorted and smeared beyond recognition. One of the MPs whispered, "What the hell?" The figure suddenly moved. Not walking, jerking, like frames missing from a video. 1 second it stood across the room. The next second it was halfway closer, then closer again. The feed cut to static. Every monitor in the room died simultaneously. Darkness swallowed ops control. People started shouting. Rifles clicked off safety. Then over the intercom came a sound nobody ever forgot. Laughter. Deep, distorted, male, not human. The emergency lights returned, and all the monitors came back online at once. Every camera feed now showed empty rooms, except one, sub-level 3 elevator hallway. The figure stood directly outside the elevator Mason had escaped from, facing the camera, still faceless. Then slowly, it raised one arm and pointed directly at the camera lens. At them. The feed died. For the next 2 hours, security forces swept the entire compound room by room. Nothing was found. No intruders, no breached doors, no damaged fences, no missing personnel. But motion sensors kept tripping everywhere they weren't. At one point, alarms activated inside a sealed records vault that required 2 separate biometric scans to enter. Nobody was inside. Another camera caught a dark figure crossing a hallway. Frame-by-frame analysis later showed something terrifying. The figure never actually walked. Its body changed positions between frames, like it wasn't moving normally, like the camera couldn't fully capture it. By 4 a.m., command staff arrived. Nobody joked anymore. Nobody even talked above a whisper. Leah finally admitted something she'd heard from a previous technician. Back in the 1980s, before Echo 7 existed, another structure sat on that same ground, an underground research site. There had been a fire. Official records said 12 personnel died. Unofficial rumors said they never recovered all the bodies. Mason didn't sleep for almost 2 days afterward. None of them did. Weeks later, investigators blamed electrical interference from the storm, camera artifacts, sensor malfunctions, stress, easy explanations, safe explanations. But nobody who was there believed that crap, especially Mason, because he never told investigators the worst part, the thing he saw right before the elevator doors closed. That blurred face? For half a second, it became clear, and it looked exactly like him.